boy, welcome to the show that's on 3 o'clock, the afternoon show. But all the cool kids out there, all the sunnies, we know it as Afternoon Delight. That's right. And we've got my sunny honey right next to me. We got Mel pushing all the buttons and making all things happen. We have a pop culture Thunderdome quiz today. We'll be talking about Bugs Bunny and Friends.
Oh, Lord.
The deep cuts of Looney Tunes. And then, of course, speaking of Looney Tunes, we've got boat drinks, meme it or leave it today.
Yay.
Got a lot of fun, sassy ones. Some of them are pretty sassy. Then we've got a Reddit rundown report. Barbara Jean sent over another award-winning report. I had to change some names out of respect to her friends. She didn't want one of the names to be Amanda, so I had to switch that out. Her name is Maddie now, but they're all fictitious names, of course, on Reddit. So that'll be awesome to unpack this. Mel sent over 3 news stories for a segment called Is This News? We'll be the judge and the jury to let her know, is it newsworthy or not? And then as soon as we get through that, we'll go to bin 39 and finish out with horrible horoscopes. Okay, Pop Culture Thunderdome, give me some Looney Tunes.
I prefer the Tiny Tunes over the Looney Tunes.
But all still part of the same franchise family. Isn't that
Correct.
interesting? All right. This first one. Before the studio settled on the name Bugs Bunny, what were they very nearly going to call him? Was it Ricochet Rabbit? Was it Happy Rabbit? Was it Lucky Hare? Or was it Bunny Bronx?
B.
Okay, next up. The name Bugs was borrowed from the nickname of Warner Brothers animator. Who? Was it Fritz Freelong? Was it Chuck Jones? Was it Ben Bugs Hardaway? Or was it Bob Clampett?
C.
Next up, Bugs's famous carrot chomping was inspired by an actor casually nibbling on a carrot in the 1934 film It Happened One Night. Which actor was that? Was it Cary Grant, Clark Gable, Jimmy Stewart, or Humphrey Bogart?
Clark Gable. B.
Next up, Bugs Bunny's definitive debut came in 1940's A Wild Hare. Which legendary director made it? Was it Chuck Jones? Was it Fritz Freelong? Was it Tex Avery? Or was it Robert McKimson?
C. Tex Avery.
All right. In Porky Pig's debut short, I Haven't Got a Hat, in 1935, the studio actually pushed a different character as this star. Who was it? Was it Beans the Cat? Was it Petunia the Pig? Was it Gabby the Goat? Or was it Oliver Owl?
Beans the Cat. A.
All right. Next up, Taz, the Tasmanian Devil, was so wild that Warner Brothers only made how many shorts with him before the studio's cartoon unit closed in 1963? Was it 5, 12, 20, or 31?
5.
Okay. Next up, what is the name of Marvin the Martian's lime green pet dog? Is it Commander Cody? Is it K9? Is it Gossamer? Or is it Rover 9?
B. K9.
Okay, next up. Foghorn Leghorn's booming, blustery personality was based on a Southern senator from the 1940s radio. What was that character's name? Was it Senator Claghorn? Was it Colonel Cornpone? Was it Governor Gasbag? Or was it Senator Foghorn?
I would say Senator Foghorn.
Okay.
D.
Next up, what was the name of the black and white cat that Pepe Le Pew is forever mistakenly chasing, Creeper? Was it Penelope Pussycat? Was it Fifi La Fume? Was it Josephine? Or was it Colette?
I think it's Colette. I'm going to say, or maybe it's Josephine. I'm saying Colette. D. I don't know.
Okay. And finally today, the ramshackle Warner Brothers building where the classic cartoons were created had a famous nickname. What was it? Was it the Ink Pit? Was it the Termite Terrace? Was it the Bunny Barn? Or was it the Doodle Den?
I'm going to call it B. Termite Terrace.
Oh, all right. Let me go get that answer key.
Da 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 da.
All right. First question. What were they going to name Bugs Bunny?
Happy Rabbit. B.
Correct. Believe it or not, Sonnies, our cocky hero was almost saddled with the name Happy Rabbit. Voice legend Mel Blanc suggested something snappier, and the rest is history. All right. What did you say on this next one?
Ben Bugs Hardaway.
That's right. An early model sheet for the rabbit was labeled Bugs Bunny, meaning the bunny belonging to an animator, Ben Bugs Hardaway. The apostrophe eventually vanished and the name stuck forever. All right, who was that famous actor?
Clark Gable. B.
Correct. It happened on one night. Heartthrob Clark Gable leans on a fence, chomping on a carrot while talking fast, and the animators thought it was a perfect, cocky, casual bit for the rabbit. All right, who directed The Wild Hare in 1940?
Tex Avery.
Correct. The great Tex Avery directed Wild Hare, the first cartoon where the rabbit was truly Bugs, complete with the Brooklyn Bronx accent and the very first "What's up, Doc?" All right, this is a very deep cut on this next one. What did you say?
A. Beans the cat.
Very good. The studio thought Beans the cat would be the perfect breakout star in the 1935 short, but audiences fell in love for the stuttering little pig instead, and Porky became Warner Brothers' first real star. All right, what about the Tasmanian Devil? What did you say?
5.
That's right. Taz was a whirlwind, and he starred in only 5 shorts during the Golden Age. He nearly faded away entirely until the 1990s. Merchandise and TV made him a superstar decades later.
Yep.
All right, what was the name of Marvin the Martian's little dog?
K9.
Correct. He debuted alongside Marvin trying to blow up the earth. All right, who was the senator?
I said Senator Foghorn. D.
Wrong.
Colonel Campone.
Wrong.
Senator Claghorn.
Yes, that loud backslapping rooster was a spoof at Senator Claghorn, a windbag from Southern politician character from Fred Allen's hit, the 1940s radio show. It's a joke, son. All right, next up, what was the name of the cat?
I said Colette.
Wrong.
It's Josephine.
Wrong.
Oh. Fifi La Fume.
Wrong.
Okay, A.
Penelope Pussycat, the cat who keeps accidentally getting in the white striped paint. Oh gosh, yeah. Didn't Pepe Le Pew get canceled?
Yep.
That's right. It was too much.
Everybody cancels everything these days.
What about the Warner Brothers space? What do they call it?
I said Termite Terrace.
You are correct. Termite Terrace, the Warner Brothers animators lovingly nicknamed their rundown little studio Termite Terrace.
I got an 80.
Hey, it's a B, and you're free to me to go to Capybara. Yippee! Looking for your wild side with a gentle twist, Sonnies? Say hello to the Capybara Cafe, Florida's most unforgettable animal experience. Get up close and personal with capybaras, reptiles, and the cutest exotic creatures around, all while learning, laughing, and making a real impact. Every visit supports animal shelters, provides sustainability, and delivers educational magic for the whole fam. So don't just scroll, scurry over to thecapybaracafe.com and book your encounter now. The Capybara Cafe, where curiosity lives and your wild heart gets to roam.
All right. It's time for Meet It or Leave It.
Yeah, I love that enthusiasm. This first one, I hate when y'all call y'all daughter Mini-Me. Ain't no way that baby a hoe.
Oh, not nice.
Next up, I think about this post literally every day. Girlfriend says, because we got Chinese yesterday, we can't get it again today. I don't think that makes sense. They do it in China all the time.
Stop.
It's the truth.
Can't.
They eat Chinese food every day.
That is true.
Next up, I hate thinking. Me too.
Oh my God, that's everybody these days.
Next up, been going through some unfergalicious times lately.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Unfergalicious.
Next up, that moment you flex your foot wrong and it cramps and you think, that's it. This is how it all ends.
That's true.
It hurts.
I can't.
God.
I'm getting done.
Next up, plenty of writers take inspiration from their own personal problems. For example, J.K. Rowling named Hogwarts after a vaginal condition. I hate her. Anyway.
I hate her too.
Yeah, good.
She's already in the book.
Yeah. Next up, how do I know if I have a regular Taco Bell diarrhea or the parasite Taco Bell diarrhea? Is there a difference?
I don't know.
Maybe it lasts longer.
But I heard that the new insult is going to be, I hope you get diarrhea lettuce virus.
That's crazy.
Or you say, why don't you go eat a bag salad?
My girlies are saying hot girl summer.
No, I can't.
Next up, 69 today. Love you, Mom. And then somebody says, I really hope it's her birthday.
Shut up. Oh my God, can you imagine if it wasn't? You're so punished.
Next up, I just can't.
Yes. I need the shirt.
I need that shirt.
Last one.
You're acting crazy. I'm not acting.
Yep. I feel attacked.
Let's go to Boat Drinks.
Somewhere between lunch and legend, there's a place where the day slips off its mundane. Helmed by Captain Rob and Captain Whitney, part hosts, part legends, part beautifully orchestrated icons. This isn't just a bar, it's a daytime escape portal for people who refuse to live boring lives. Boat Drinks Bar is the vibe to thrive, to stay alive. You didn't plan to stay all afternoon, but Boat Drinks has never been concerned with your plans. Find your escape in Uptown St. Augustine, 123 San Marco Avenue, where the afternoons arrive fashionably late and leave comfortably transformed. Boat Drinks.
Wow, recorded shows are just the nicest things. Just saying, live is crazy.
Yes.
All right, let's get into Reddit Rundown Report.
Let's unpack it.
The subreddit is Am I the Asshole today? The TLDR is Am I the Asshole if I cut off my engagement because of a comment my fiance made about my late wife?
Let's unpack it.
All right, here we go. 43 male. The kids are 21 and 16. Their names are Sam and Liz, just so you know.
Okay.
And the girlfriend is named Maddie. All fictitious names, of course. Okay. For some background info, I have 2 children with my late wife, Kayla. Sam and Liz, all fake names. Kayla passed away when our kids were 15 and 10. I won't give specifics about how she passed, but she was struck by a drunk driver when she was on her way home from work. She was the love of my life. To say that her passing hit our family hard could be an understatement. I promised myself that if I got back into the dating game, I wouldn't date anyone for at least a couple years for the sake of my kids. 3 years after my wife's passing, I met my now fiance. We'll call her Maddie. Things went slow, and I didn't introduce her to my kids until we had been dating for about a year at that point. Now, we've been together for 3 years and are engaged. Maddie and my kids have always had a good relationship. Neither of my kids are super close to her, but they have always been friendly and welcoming her, and Maddie has never overstepped any boundaries my kids have, like trying to replace their mother.
Good.
At the beginning of the relationship, Maddie was a bit insecure of the fact that I was a widower. During the first few months of us dating, she would constantly ask things like, if Kayla had never passed, would I still be with her right now? Meaning like if he'd still be with him. Yeah. I always kept my answers brief, and I told her that I didn't like thinking about the what ifs, and that she was the one that I was dating now, and that's what mattered. Eventually, she stopped making these comments, and I stopped worrying about it. Now on to the issue. My parents were hosting a family dinner to celebrate my fiance's and I's engagement. It was my mom and dad, my late wife's sister and her husband, Sam and Liz, and me and Maddie. Dinner was going well, and we were all making small talk with each other and talked about the wedding plans. About halfway into the dinner, my mom made a comment about how she was so happy I was able to find the spark I had with Kayla in someone else. I don't think anybody really paid much attention to the comment, but then Maddie laughed and said, I'm happy she died, otherwise I would have never have gotten him to myself. The tone of the dinner immediately shifted, and everyone got extremely tense, especially my kids. Maddie noticed the shift and started awkwardly laughing like she was trying to play off her comment as a joke. I was honestly just frozen, as that was the first time she had made a comment like that. My kids looked disgusted, and Liz got up and walked out to the car. Sam waited a little bit longer, like he wanted me to say something, but I was still in shock about what Maddie had said. To make a long story about the dinner short, the dinner was kind of ruined, so I said my goodbyes to everyone, grabbed my fiance, and we all drove home. My daughter hasn't spoken to me or Maddie since, and it's been 3 days. I got tired of it and pulled my son aside and asked him what I should do. He said something along the lines of, I'm a grown man and I don't care who another grown man marries, but I don't want a woman who speaks like that about our mother around my sister. Sam's comments stuck with me, and now I'm considering calling off the engagement entirely. She never made comments like this before, and I'm worried if I let this slide this one time, it will become more frequent and it will affect my daughter. I need some advice from outside perspectives, just what to do with my kids. Would I be the asshole if I called off the engagement because of the comment she made? What do you think?
Nope. I don't think so. I think that was a really, really mean comment to make. Not only that, like tone deaf.
I don't know if it was necessarily mean. I don't think she meant it to be mean. I think it was tone deaf. I just think that she just diarrhea of the mouth and it just fell out.
In what world do you think it's okay to say something like that? Like, and is are there going to be other situations where she's going to be and then play it off and be like, oh, I didn't think there was anything bad?
Obviously, this is her first go around with dating a widower, and she didn't know Kayla. She didn't know the original
But
wife.
you don't say, I'm glad she's dead.
Yeah, it's
With the kids in the room.
I could just see this just not the way it came out, not the way she wanted it to come out.
Everybody in that room probably made the same face I did.
Yeah, I got an edit here. I didn't expect to get this much advice so shortly after posting. Nonetheless, thank you for the advice. People are calling me a bad father. I think your guys' words are that I needed to pull my head out of my ass. I will try to talk to my kids alone tonight before speaking with my fiance, and we'll see where it goes from there. I'm pretty sure my fiance and I are over, though. I'll update late tonight or tomorrow on how the talks with everyone goes. Thank you again for keeping my head straight. Edit 2. I tried posting my update on here, but this post wouldn't allow it. I've made several separate post attempts. Blah, 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 blah. Here's the update. This is an update post for those who have read my initial post. I promised I would update everyone after I had talked to my kids, so here it is. It's kind of long, so I hope that it doesn't go against the rules of this community. I am also going to use this update as a way to clarify some of the questions people were asking in comments. Did my fiance apologize to anyone at the dinner party? No, she didn't. I honestly don't think it even registered or has registered to her at all that she said was wrong.
Right.
Does the fiance have social anxiety? Not to my knowledge, no. In all the time that I've known her, she's never shown any signs of social anxiety and doesn't have a history of it. How old was my late wife? She was 37 when she passed, and we were the same age. Maddie is 41. A lot of people were asking for clarification on the time frame of her passing and when my fiance and I met. At this point in time, Kayla has been gone for about 6 years, and I met Maddie roughly 3 years after Kayla's passing. I didn't mention either of their ages as I didn't believe it was important because we're so close in age. I understand why a lot of guys would want to know. Anyway, now I've clarified some of those questions. I've almost asked in the comments that we can get into the actual update. I'm writing this update on the day after I talked to my kids. So last night around 5:30, my fiance left for work. She works nights on most days of the week, so I was able to call my son and ask if he could come over so I could talk to him and his sister. He goes to our local college and lives in an apartment near his school. When he started college, he wanted to move out, but also wanted to stay close to us, so he settled on an apartment a few blocks away from the college. He came over and I called him and his sister into the living room to talk with both of them. When they were both seated, I told them point blank that I didn't think the wedding was happening anymore and that the comment she made was unacceptable. I then, by the advice of the comments, apologized to both of my kids.
Good.
I told them that I was sorry for not saying anything for so long and letting the tension thicken in our home. I told my daughter that I understood why she hasn't spoken to me and that I was sorry for allowing her to think that I was remotely even okay with what she did. I felt pretty spineless after we had gotten back from dinner that night, so I wanted to do everything in my power to make it right with my kids during the conversation. My daughter told me that she felt disgusted at the comment Maddie made, and even more so when I didn't defend her mother. She then told me that the last 2 years that she's known Maddie, she felt like she's been gradually trying to push her and Sam away from me. One of the examples Liz gave was when my son moved out. He moved out when he was about to start his sophomore year of college. And when he mentioned the idea of moving out, Maddie was the one who took that and ran with it. According to Liz, Maddie was the one encouraging Sam to move out. To be clear, I was never against Sam moving out, but I was clear to him that he was welcome to live at home for his college years and even after until he found where he wanted to be. I asked Sam if he felt pushed out by Maddie, and that's why he moved out, he said. He said that he felt pushed out before he told anyone he wanted to move. But after he put it out there, my fiance kept pushing him to move out. Liz cut in and said that every time she brings up college, Maddie keeps encouraging her to go out of state. Liz doesn't plan on going out of state. She's been open about wanting to go to the same college as Sam attending right now. Liz said she feels like Maddie is waiting until she graduates high school and goes to college so she can move out. Wow, a lot of the comments were right about subtle comments eventually turning into Maddie wanting my kids pushed away from me. Liz said that she was scared but by the time I eventually noticed the way Maddie was acting, too big of a wedge would have already been driven between me and them. I told my kids that I'm sorry it's taken me this long to notice, and that I've also sorry that I've been walking on eggshells for so long. I hugged my kids and told them that no matter what, they're my top priority, not Maddie or anyone else. A lot of comments pointed out that even though my son is grown, he still needs his father. And I'm sure to let my son know that I will always be there for him and his sister when they are well grown. The entire conversation lasted about 2 hours. We covered a lot of bases that we wanted to and it got emotional on all sides. In short, Maddie and I are done. I've made it a point to tell my kids that none of the situation is their fault, and that Maddie is a grown woman who said what she said. My kids and I are okay right now, but they aren't 100% with me and probably won't be for a while. I'm completely fine with that and just want my kids comfortable in their own home. Maddie has tomorrow off from work, so I plan to talking to her tomorrow. I also plan calling my mother to ask her why she thought it was okay to even bring up Kayla at the dinner. I don't want my daughter here when it all goes down, so she's staying tonight and tomorrow with Sam. So that's where I am right now. I'm not super happy about the outcome of me and Maddie, but would rather have my kids happy and healthy than have a wife. Again, thank you everyone for your advice and your kind words.
Okay.
So she was being spookery in the background, pushing the kids out.
Whoa. Let's pump our brakes on that situation.
Okay.
Because kids will say things when there's like a new person or a potential new step parent coming in. They will say things to try to make that person look bad.
Okay.
And they will, because I've been on that side, 100%. But I didn't end up on that side until after I finally said, no, I'm not doing all of that for you.
Right.
Then I became the bad guy. But that's not an uncommon thing where kids will say, we feel like you've neglected us for her. Like that happens.
Right.
Now, maybe this woman was doing that. I don't know.
It's tricky.
But that could be their perception, and that's how they feel. Because also with their mom dying, they probably don't want their dad to get remarried. I'm just going to say.
Right.
But I think the fact he sat down and had a conversation is huge.
Right.
You know, and at the end of the day, the kids have to realize, like, your dad is going to probably start dating. Your dad's probably going to get remarried. You can't control these things.
But it sounds like these kids were really kind of open to him getting out there again. I don't see much pushback until this conversation happened. I feel like they just gave it grace because before the dinner, they were all fine. Like, I mean, you know, publicly speaking, for face value. I find that very interesting, and the dad does admit that he was kind of blinded a little bit. What about the mother bringing up Kayla at the dinner?
I think that was just the mom being a mom.
Mom being a mom. I agree with that.
I don't find anything vindictive or hateful or outright nasty.
Or trying
about
to
that.
dig there or anything.
No,
because there were some commenters coming for the mother on that.
No, I don't think so at all. I think the mother was like, she really said it's nice of you to find the spark. You know, again, like, I think the mother was just being a mom.
Yeah, and saying nice things and things like that. Yeah. All right, I got update number 2.
Yes.
All right, this is obviously the conversation with Maddie.
All right, here we go.
So here's where we last left off is my kids and I talked, made up, and my daughter is staying with her brother, so she doesn't have to get caught up in what was about to happen with now my ex-fiancé. Before the hard part of the day, breaking it off with Maddie, I made my call to my mom to let her know the situation. A lot of comments told me not to bash my mom for the comment she made, Now, thinking back on the situation with a clear mind, the comment my mother made towards Maddie was most definitely a compliment towards her, and that it was confirmed in the call that I had with her. My mother, bless her heart, felt extremely guilty of the entire situation. She fully believed the situation all stemmed from her one comment. I assured her that none of the situation was her fault and that no one is going to blame for her for any of this.
Yeah.
We talked a bit more and I let her go. The call ended around 9:15 a.m. and I was waiting for Maddie to wake up. She woke up around 10:30 a.m. and I didn't want to ambush her straight as she woke up. I waited till about 11:10 to sit her down and talk. A lot of people in comments suggested that I secretly videoed the whole thing. I thought that was extremely smart, so I had my phone set to record in my back pocket the entire time. I didn't think she tried to do anything drastic, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. In this day and age, probably. The talk with her went about as well as anyone could imagine, so not at all. I told her I needed to talk with her and it was serious, and we sat in the living room where when we were seated I began unloading at her about the comment she made about Kayla at my parents' house, how it made my kids feel, how it made me feel, and her lack of apology or any sort of acknowledgement to what she had said and so on. I also told her I expect her to give an apology to my parents, my in-laws, and most importantly, my kids. During the entire time of me unloading on her, she didn't seem to show any bit of emotion other than her eyes, which were slightly wider than normal. After I spoke my truth, she straight up asked, "So, if I apologize to everyone, we'll all go back to normal?" I told her point blank no. I told her that the comment that she made at dinner was not the extent of my problems with her. I then told her I know she heavily pressured Sam to move out, and when he wasn't sure if he wanted to at some point in time, that I would also know that she is trying to do the same thing with Liz. I did my absolute best to leave my kids out of the situation, but I told Maddie the way my kids described her treatment towards them was the main reason I don't see a future with her anymore. Maddie was stone-faced up until I told her we were done. I think that's when the panic set in for her. She kept saying that she'll apologize to everyone and then she'll make it right with my kids, etc., etc. I told her that if she apologizes, I will certainly appreciate it, but we were still done either way. Excuse me. She was full on crying at this point and asking me, why wasn't I willing to try to fix our relationship? And I told her that even though I loved her, and I will be honest, I still love her very much, I was not willing to take another chance of my kids being hurt again the way that they were. I was frustrated and shot back asking her, why was she trying to push my kids out of their own home? And the answer I got back, I was not at all expecting. I was completely shocked by her response, but a lot of you guys wouldn't be. A lot of commenters actually hit the nail on the head with that Maddie was truly like this. Maddie responded with, well, I didn't know you expected me to house somebody else's kids for the rest of my life. I immediately saw red after the moment that she said that. I told her that my kids can go wherever they damn please, especially in the house that I own and pay for. She tried to retaliate, but it ended up pack a few bags and going to stay with one of her friends. I emailed a copy of the phone recording to myself. The talk only lasted for about 25 minutes, not nearly as long as I had with my kids. So if anything ends up coming from the conversation, I'd have it all to keep for to clear my name. I texted my kids that Maddie is out of the house for good, that they're all welcome to come home, and let my son know that if he wants to, he is more than welcome to move back in completely. My daughter is coming back from her brother's place in the afternoon, and I still have phone calls to make to my parents and in-laws, blah, blah, blah. Maddie is out of the house but keeps blowing up my phone trying to work things out. I'll let her come by in the next few days and she can collect the rest of her stuff out of my house, but she is not welcome to live here ever again. I'll be honest to say that I am devastated. Despite everything Maddie did, I still love her and I probably won't stop loving her for a minute, but I'll be okay. Right now, I just want to focus on my family who needs me and will use this situation as an excuse to bond with my kids. Another big thank you to everyone in the comments. I will update if anything else goes on.
Wow. Not nice.
I mean, if you
That's why I don't think, and from the minute she let that comment get out of her mouth, I don't think it was a mistake. I think she really meant it.
why are they engaged? You know what I mean? Like, why did they get engaged in the first place?
Well, because I think when you go through something like that, I don't know, I've never lost a spouse, so knock on wood, I hope I don't. I think it turns into more of a companionship type of thing instead of just, you know what I mean? Like they want someone there. That's why when people get older, like in their 70s, they get married and stuff, because I think it's more of a companionship thing.
Right.
That they want that relationship and and somebody there.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think that they were ready to be engaged. I think that they still had some growing in their relationship to do, because when you are dating a widower, you have to take on. That is part of the thing. I mean, it's part of the past.
I don't think there's a time limit though on like
No,
when
definitely
people
not.
should date someone.
No.
So if you found someone after 3 years and they got engaged, I don't think there's like a time limit.
No,
You
that's
can't help how you
fine,
feel.
But I really feel like when you are engaged with somebody, that you understand the whole story here and respect the whole story of the past. And I don't think that Maddie did in this situation. I
No.
don't think she respected the past at all. She was already in her head, and she didn't live with Kayla, so she didn't have that romance there. But she was already in her head, like what her future is going to look like, what she's going to build on,
But
and it
also,
didn't
too-
involve his kids.
But also too, you can't really fault her for that, because devil's advocate here. She's dating this person. She's engaged to this person. She wants that. That's her knight on a white horse or whatever storybook ending. And I will say, as a step parent, I will say it is hard when it's not your kids. Because when you have to do disciplinary action things, it's like your jurisdiction only goes so far. So, it is tricky, especially when the kids are older. It's tricky, man. And unless you've been a step parent or you are one, you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Well, it's not tricky to watch your mouth.
No, I mean, I'm not saying
she really
that.
said something really horrible.
Well, yeah, but I'm
Two
talking about
things
I'm
really
talking about being
horrible.
a step parent.
But you're also saying that I can't really kind of throw Maddie under a bus here. I can, because she could have watched what she said
Well,
and
yeah.
have been more sensitive about it.
But it
she
is
should have
hard.
never said yes to the engagement if she
But
didn't
that's
really
what I'm saying.
expect the entire
if you
story.
didn't want to have anybody if you're dating someone and they have kids and you don't want that, why are you dating them?
That's exactly where I'm getting at. Like,
That's
why are you dating them?
When Jim and I started getting serious, like a little over a year, we were sitting down and I said, listen, if you want to have more children, like I am not your girl. And he's like, no, I'm good. And that was it. Because that's a deal breaker. You can't be with someone who has kids or someone that wants kids and you don't want children. So you got to really think about it, man.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting story. There is another update, but it's inconclusive, because she cleaned out her house and she gave the ring back. He didn't ask for the ring, but she did end up giving the ring back. So everything's amicable now. But I just thought, like, why? I think that they rushed a little bit with the engagement. They should have just kept dating for a little bit longer, so that she could have a full appreciation and understanding about who this family really was. If she's pushing kids out, she's only in it for her agenda. That's fine. That's her
Yeah.
MO. But at the same time, there's a whole family history here that you can't erase. You just can't do
Right.
that.
True story.
So, all right, let's head over to Panache.
That was good.
Every guest, every time since 1987, Panache opened its doors to be a cut above the rest. Their mission at Panache is to care for their team, their guests, and community from scalp to soul and bring the joy to the world one service at a time. The Panache difference is their carefully chosen and highly trained staff there to exceed your expectations. The same goes for their elegant salon space, dedicated to guest comfort and devotion to innovation and artistry. They're focused on making your day and continually raising the bar by aligning with Aveda's mission. You gotta get Panache.com and get with it, boo.
All right, we are back with Is This News?
Yes.
We got 3 news stories in front of us, and we're going to be the judge and jury today. Is this newsworthy? All right, this first one, the Magic Mind Crust. What? All right, here's the gist, Sonny. It's when you dig a mine for gold, silver, and all those metals that go into our phones and cars, you're left with a nasty leftover called tailings. It's crushed up rock sludge, and there's a scary part. It can be loaded with genuinely toxic stuff like arsenic and lead, and a lot of old abandoned mining towns across America and Canada still have these giant leftover piles sitting there quietly leaking poison into the soil and creeping towards the rivers and the drinking water. Not good.
No.
So a team of scientists out at Arizona State
Oh,
University
mercy.
cooked up a clever fix. They made an enzyme-based treatment, basically a natural liquid you can spray right on top of these toxic piles, and it hardens the surface into a protective crust. kind of like a scab over a wound. So the wind can't blow the poison dust around and the rain can't wash it into the water. They're testing it right now in an abandoned mine near Prescott, Arizona. So the big story is scientists made a fancy crust for a rock pile. Is a crusty dirt pile really newsworthy?
It is, because the toxic piles are out in the middle of nowhere. Old mining towns have families living right next to them. And then arsenic and lead can seep into the water
That's
the
scary.
kids drink. So here's the
Erin
genius of it.
Brockovich.
Yes, the old ways of cleaning these sites needs heavy machinery, chemicals, big expensive operations. But this treatment, the scientists say, you can mix it up right there on site. No fancy equipment, no
Right.
bulldozers, which means you can finally clean up these forgotten, hard-to-reach, abandoned mines that everybody just gave up on. So they didn't invent some harsh new chemical to fight a chemical problem. It's nature using nature to fight nature.
I think this is very newsworthy,
I think
especially
it's
if it's
news.
going to block going into the drinking water. And obviously, that's
Yeah, they need Erin
very
Brockovich.
cool study there. That's
I wonder if
very,
she
very
helped
cool.
them.
All right, we've got our next story, honeycombs on the red planet. This one's going way up in space, all the way up to Mars. And NASA has found something that literally, in their own words, took their breath away. Get ready to feel the goosebumpy sense. Here we go. NASA has a little robot explorer up there called the Curiosity rover.
Oh, I just picture this little
A
thing.
plucky little six-wheeled scientist that has been rolling around Mars and all by itself for 14 years now. And back in June, as a Curiosity was climbing up the Martian Valley, it sent home some photos that stopped the whole NASA team in their tracks. Because as far as the rover's cameras could see, in every single direction, the ground was covered in a giant field of perfect little six-sided shapes like a honeycomb. Like a beehive stretched across the entire alien landscape. The scientists call them the polygonal fractures, and they've spotted little patches of them, but never anything on this scale. The missions project scientist, Ashwin Vazdavla, said it perfectly. We've seen a lot of fascinating landscapes through Curiosity's eyes, but the sea of polygons took our breath away. Now here's the mystery part. Nobody knows for sure how they formed. It could be ancient dried mud cracks. It could be Mars going through cycles of hot and cold, freezing and thawing over eons. It could be the ground squeezing water out long, long ago. The scientists are studying the shapes and the chemistry right now, hunting for clues.
So, in a 360-degree panorama taken June 19th and 20th, the shapes stretch into every direction and even wrap around with a 20-foot butte nicknamed Miraflores. So they possibly include ancient mud cracks, cycles of warm and cold temperatures, and most importantly, the rover has shown that ancient Mars once had water, chemistry, and nutrients to support microbial life, even finding carbon-based molecules that are the building blocks for DNA and RNA. So that means there
Just
was
really
life.
interesting, because if they find water, then there is absolutely proof
You can
that,
live on there.
Right. So interesting to me, and
I'd say
fascinating when they
news.
find something like this. I definitely think it's newsworthy. I'd like it to be developed a little bit more, but for them to have that discovery, I think that's pretty significant.
Absolutely.
All right, we've got our next story here, the fancy water cat today. All right. Over in England, there's a gentleman named Leslie, and he lives with a tortoiseshell cat named Millie. And Millie, sonnies, may be the oldest cat in the entire world. This little lady was born back in 1995, which makes her 31 years old. In cat years, that's about 146 years. And Leslie swears her secret is that for the last decade, she has refused to drink anything but fancy bottled spring water. Not tap water, not from the faucet, bottled spring water, plus a daily menu of salmon, prawns, which is shrimp, chicken, and tuna.
This cat.
So let's talk about this. Is this really newsworthy?
It is, because if you take care of your animal, it can live for a really long freaking time.
I mean, bottled water, butter. Does Barbara Jean, does butter get bottled water?
Oh my God. So Leslie's an older gentleman, and they were fixing the pipes on his street. The workers kindly dropped off bottled Buxton water at his door because he's a vulnerable person. He shared it with Millie, and then when the taps came back on, the water ran dirty. He said, forget it. We're both sticking with the good stuff. So it wasn't the cat being fancy. It was the man taking care of his little companion, giving her the cleanest water he could give.
Oh, what a story.
Millie originally belonged to his late wife, who took her in as a tiny kitten back in '95. His wife has now passed away, but the little cat is still curled up on his sofa. So the fact that his cat is his family, I think it shows that you can do anything as long as you have love.
I mean, even back in ancient Egypt, where cats were just revered as these like goddesses or gods from
Cats
back
are
in the
so
time.
creepy.
They're such an interesting animal species. I love cats. I think they're very fascinating.
Cats scare me.
I mean, for this is one of the oldest cats in the world.
Yeah,
So, do we
I think
think
it's
this is newsworthy?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. I
But
don't-
if I was going to get a cat, I'd get a Mancoon. Those
yeah,
things are huge.
Ooh, they big.
Jim's
right?
mom had one. His name was Casper, and he was gray. He was very spooky.
Well, cats do not like wine, but I do.
Meow, meow.
39, the hidden gem of downtown St. Augustine since 2016. This is your secret getaway to a fabulous time. It's tucked away inside the lobby of the St. George Inn, and this charming spot boasts a courtyard setting that's straight out of a dream at the north end of St. George Street. Their wine collection features over 85 unique gems, is a journey into the extraordinary. You'll find wines from both small and large producers. They're open daily from 8 to 8 and Thursday to Sunday from 1 to 7. You got to check them out. Bin 39.
All right, let's get into Hey Girl, Hey Horrible Horoscopes. We got Aries, Taurus, and Gemini on deck.
Yeah.
Here we go. Hey Girl, Hey. The universe woke up today, Aries. Cracked its knuckles and chose violence, specifically against you.
God.
You'll confidently stride into a big meeting, trip over absolutely nothing, and do that flailing windmill arm thing while you are knocking over a plant, a laptop, and a man named Gerald. You'll pop up and say, I'm okay, and no one asks. No one cares. Then, riding high on adrenaline, you will make a bold decision that you were sure about, and it will be the single worst call of your entire calendar year.
Like every day of my life.
The stars aren't mad, Aries. They're just deeply, deeply entertained.
Hilarious.
Taurus.
All right.
Oh, sweet, stubborn Taurus. Today you dig your heels in over something petty, and the cosmos dig back. Your fancy coffee explodes in your lap, and sure, then the drive-thru forgets your order, charges you twice, and the machine eats your card. You'll go home to comfort eat your feelings and discover that the one snack you were living for has been expired since the last full moon.
That's the worst.
You'll eat it anyway out of spite. You'll regret this at 2 a.m. The signs warned you, girl. You didn't listen. You never listen.
No, Taurus, they never.
They don't
never
listen.
listens.
All right, Gemini. Hey, girl, hey. Both
God.
of you are in trouble today. You'll craft a masterpiece of a text, absolutely shredding someone, and send it directly to them. Then, in a bold panic, you'll try to cover it up with a haha wrong chat and accidentally send that to your boss, your mother, and a group chat from 2019 you forgot even existed. By noon, you'll have 3 enemies and 1 very concerned aunt. Your gift is talking, Gemini. Today, it is also your curse. Consider silence. Consider the witness protection program after that
Yikes.
mess. Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys.
All right, Sonnies, that's a wrap on this Mud Pie Magical Monday.
Pie.
We chilled, we thrilled, we laughed, we thrived, and most importantly,
We survived.
that is the truth, even after tech glitches.
It's fine.
We love you guys so much. We have a big plant show coming on tomorrow at what time?
9 a.m.
Guys, hit that share button, and we'll see you back. Bye, Sonnies.
Bye, guys.
Yo, that's the show. Before you go, hit the share, let the whole town know.
We got good vibes. We got sun for days. Sprinkle that sunny in 100 ways.
Tap it, send it, text your crew.
Tell your mama and your neighbors too.